Well, hello and good very early morning from Santa Barbara. It's 6:29 a.m. and I just got off of the overnight bus from San Jose. I managed to pull a whole 5 non-consecutive hours of sleep, a new record. Anyway, I'm in Santa Barbara because I'm making the adventure to San Diego again, except this time I'm taking the slow route with various modes of public transit through SoCal just to see what transit there is like. I've complained about it endlessly, but I've never actually experienced much of it myself, so join me as I adventure through SoCal's transit. First thing that I'm waiting for is a Pacific Surfliner to Oxnard. So the overnight bus that I rode today or last night I guess, was absolutely packed. There were only, I think by San Jose there were maybe 5 seats left, and then by the time we got to Salinas there were no open seats left. So I was just thinking about how like the demand shows that they should run a train between the Bay Area and LA, because almost everyone on this bus isn't stopping in Santa Barbara. They're going down towards LA, towards San Diego, towards those southern destinations. And the experience would be made so much better and more accessible to a lot more people if it was a train like the Coast Starlight, but that ran overnight. But alas, here we are, suffering on the Hell Bus. It's about an hour on my Amtrak later, and here I am at the Oxnard Transit Center. This is my first stop of the day because this is the first point that I can transfer to Metrolink. Metrolink runs a once-a-day service on the Ventura County line on Saturdays. This was a new pilot project from, I think, almost a year ago, but I never get down here, so this is the first time that I've been able to experience that. So I'm going to buy the $10 weekend pass, and I'm going to take Metrolink as my first SoCal Transit exploration. As you can tell, I'm still very tired. Anyway, Oxnard Transit Center. Yeah, now I have about 25 minutes before my train. So this weekend pass is pretty special because it's actually valid on most local buses in the general area. For example, it's valid on the Gold Coast Transit buses that are in front of me right now. And I did originally plan on riding Gold Coast Transit. They run interesting types of buses like the C40 LFR that's departing behind me, and some NABIs that I don't really normally see. But because my train was so late, or it wasn't really late, it was like 5 minutes late, but I didn't think there would be enough time for me to properly explore some buses and still make my Metrolink. I'm just going to sit here at the Oxnard Transit Center like a good boy and just watch the buses instead. So right there, that's a C40 LFR. Of the 2 types of buses that I drive in normal service, this is my preferred type of bus. And then next to it is an NABI bus that you don't normally see in California. My original plan was to take Metrolink one stop from Oxnard to Camarillo, but my train is now inexplicably 10 minutes late, and I had a 10-minute connection with the bus that I wanted to catch, so I don't think that's going to work now. But it's okay. I can just take Metrolink longer and reroute my plan from there. And here's the bus yard of buses that I was going to catch. I was originally going to take the Ventura County Transit Commission 50, that was going to take me to Thousand Oaks, and then I was going to switch to the 161 that would take me all the way to Canoga Station, but it looks like I won't be making that today. Here in Camarillo, the bus is due in a minute, but no sign of it, so maybe I made the right call by staying on the train. So I got off Metrolink here at Chatsworth Station, and this is the start of the Orange Line / G Line BRT. And I think this is one of the coolest things in LA, and this is one of the things that I was most excited to see in LA because the BRT is battery powered, and their buses use pantographs to charge at layover facilities. I've never seen anything like that before. So one might actually call this a modern day trolley bus. Trolley buses, of course, use wires, and that's like a direct connection, whereas this bus is using a pantograph to charge itself so that the batteries can provide power. The bus is an Excelsior. This is my least favorite type of bus to drive, but I just think that's really cool that it uses a pantograph. So that was my ride on the G Line, the Orange Line, LA Metro's BRT. Yeah, it was great. It was very fast. The only complaint that I have is that between Canoga and Chatsworth, the headways are every 20 minutes. After Canoga and between Canoga and North Hollywood, then they get bumped up to every 10 minutes, which is, it's better. It's better. Yeah, buses are very fast. Anyway, now I'm at Van Nuys, and I'm transferring to the Route 761 because I want to visit a place called the Getty. It's a famous art museum. I have no intentions of going in to see the art because it's apparently all tickets are sold out, but they do have a fun tram, a hover train system, so I want to go see that. So after my ride on the 761, I am here at the Getty Center. It has a nice bus stop. And the thing that I'm here to see is the Getty Center tram. It's a little tram that operates between the parking lot area and the main museum, so we shall see if I can ride that. So this is the Getty Center tram. It shuttled me all the way up to the Getty Museum. That was a really cool ride. It had music playing. Love it. here, the Getty Center tram is cable driven, which I think is really interesting. So I learned that the Getty Museum doesn't charge admission and is free, so it's time to go poke around an art museum in LA with a really cool tram. So far, I'm really enjoying my time at the museum. I am indeed a guy who's exploring an art museum in a t-shirt and sweats, so I think they hate me, but otherwise, it's a good museum. Plenty of cool things to see, lots of cool art exhibits, but what I'm here for are the views and the tram. Okay, this view behind me is better than anything I ever thought that it would be. I really underestimated how good the view would be, but wow, it's a lot of LA. So all the way over there is the Pacific Ocean. Some more LA suburbia, I-405, disgusting, and the skyscrapers of downtown. I have questions. So yeah, the Getty Museum I think is a really nice place, and I definitely recommend visiting if you find yourself here. The tram was always something I saw whenever I drove down I-405, so it's really interesting being able to ride it now. Yeah, I got here on the 761 bus, drops off right in front of the museum, and it's just a short walk to the tram station. So now I'm just going to walk down to the tram to get some cool shots of it. I gotta say, the tram is so much more futuristic than I ever thought it would be. But it's also a really interesting technology. It's the hover train designed by Otis, so it kind of just like floats off the ground, and it also clamps into like the side, and it's cable hauled. So just thought that was really interesting. So now that I've got the shots of the tram that I want, I'm going to walk down, or I am walking down to the bottom pickup station so I can ride it to the top and then down again. Because also, the 761 bus is one of LA Metro's last rapid services, but the rapid service only runs every 30 minutes because that makes sense. So now I'm just waiting a little bit before I can catch my bus that'll take me down to UCLA. It's the next spot on my LA tourist itinerary. ride on the Getty tram over and my visit to the Getty Museum over. It's now back to the 761 I go. Though according to my watch, I may have just missed it, and now I'll have to wait another 30 minutes. Oopsies. We shall see, we shall see.
Hope that won't take me 4.5 hours to get to the airport.
So I am off of the 761 at Sunset and Bellagio at this very, very ritzy area, because this is the first stop that I could get to UCLA's campus at. You know, as a student at a UC, it's always interesting to see how other UCs are like. So I'm just stopping by to check it out a little and maybe get something to eat. I will be perfectly honest, I have no idea where I'm going right now. I'm just walking downhill. Well, by virtue of being who I am, I have already found where there are buses in UCLA, so I've seen enough of campus. It's a nice campus, it's just really easy to get lost in. There's also the Bruin bus, which is the, you know, the UCLA equivalent of Unitrans, but it's only open, there's only like 2 lines that are open, it doesn't run on the weekends, and yeah, just it's very much only a campus shuttle, whereas with Unitrans, we actually serve the entire city of Davis. Shout out. Right there, that's the Culver City bus. That heads down to the aviation/LAX Green Line station. I'm not feeling too lazy today, so instead of hopping on the Culver City bus, I will instead just walk down to Westwood, which is the sort of stores area. Like, you know, they have shops and things. I don't know, I got so little sleep. Anyway, yeah, now I'm on the search for some food before I take my next bus to my next destination, which will be the 2 to Hollywood. I'm gonna go be a tourist. So behind me is a Gillick BRT from Big Blue Bus. That's another bus agency they have here. SoCal is truly a mess of different agencies, each with their own fare structure and their own little routes and quirks. So one such quirk of the Big Blue Bus is that I can't actually use my Metrolink ticket to get a free ride. On other agencies like Culver City Bus or LA Metro, my Metrolink ticket is my ticket is my bus fare, but that's not the case on the Big Blue Bus. So that type of bus that I just filmed, it was an NABI 45C. Not only is it rare because it's an NABI bus, but it is also a 45-footer bus. You rarely see 45-foot city buses. If they are 45 feet, then it's normally motor coaches, like the bus that I rode to Santa Barbara this morning. So that is one interesting quirk of LA. Really am enjoying all the buses that I've been seeing down here, even though SoCal Transit does admittedly suck. It's still pretty fun to see all these buses. Well, I am feeling the effect of taking an overnight bus, so it's time to rectify that. So now that I have got my go-go juice, it's time to go get actual food, and lucky for me, there is an In-N-Out around the corner. So now that I have had my food and have had my green go-go juice, it is time for my next adventure to hop on the Route 2. That's going to take me to Sunset and Vine, where I can walk to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And next to me here are some of the famous bulgy buses, the NABI 45Cs. They're indeed longer and bulgier than most buses. And I think that's pretty cool. So the 2 line that I'm riding right now is in one of those NABI 45Cs, so I think that's pretty interesting. Even on the inside you can tell that it's much longer than a normal bus. This is just a quick 40-minute ride to Hollywood. just got off of the 2, and it's 45-foot old G bus, and I gotta say that was a nice ride. Those things are fun, and the drivers here hustle. Please don't hit me, thank you. Yeah, now I am in downtown Hollywood, and I'm just here to see the Walk of Fame, walking from Sunset to the Hollywood thing with the stars and stuff. Well, here's some stars, I guess. This is what I came here to see, huh? This is it. This is the Hollywood Walk of Fame. There are stars on the ground behind me, and I've come to the decision that this is overrated as hell, so I'm getting on the subway. And I'm going to go to my next destination, which is probably going to be Pershing Squared, so I can ride the Angels Flight Railway. Hello, Metro, my sort of sweet relief. So I'm off of the red line here at Pershing Square Station, and now I can just walk above ground, and then I will be able to ride the famous Angels Flight Railway.
Take a picture? Yes.
Well, that's unfortunate. Looks like it's not running today. But here it is. This is the Angels Flight Railway. So basically the Angels Flight is a funicular, and it operates with 2 cars, each one acting as a counterweight. The downward one pulls the upward one, and so on. And it goes up and down these long flight of stairs. You can actually see right there the winch that the cable is attached to. So unfortunately, with Angels Flight closed, it looks like I don't get to ride the funicular today, so another time. I gotta leave something to visit next time, right? So now I am in downtown, like, Pershing Square area, and I have to get to Union Station in the next hour and 15 minutes because my train leaves at 4:40. Right now it's 3:25. So to do that, I'm going to hop on a bus to Union Station, and then I guess I just chill at Union Station until it's go time. It's a great oldie bus. So the Dash bus brought me to my last destination of the day, Los Angeles Union Station. And it's here that I'm going to catch the Orange County line that'll bring me to Oceanside, the place that my final destination. That's what it's called. spent a little time playing some piano at the Union Station piano, which is always a highlight of being here. Not to toot my own horn, haha trains, but someone did clap for me, so I'm very happy about that. But yeah, it's always nice being able to play some music in the hallowed halls. And now I'm just waiting for my train to Oceanside. This is the last leg of my very long journey from San Jose. So, over here is the LA Metro's heavy rail yard, also known as the only place that the heavy rail metro goes overground. Everything else is just kept beneath the streets of LA.
Good morning.
Hello. Look who randomly showed up.
Randomly showed up, not planned.
It's Miles, not planned at all. So, Miles is one of my friends from UC Davis. He's also very transportation nerdy. And he is here because he lives in SoCal. You want to tell us about how you got there?
Yes. So, I live in SoCal. I drove, to San Clemente Pier. Then I took this Pacific Surfliner from San Clemente Pier to Anaheim. 15-minute layover. Then I got onto this train and I'm going back to San Clemente Pier. So it's very basic, but you know, a little bit of train action. So
The dedicated. Look at all those RV parks. I'm watching you2 drone.
oh yeah. The birds are also watching it.
I can't wait till one of the birds tries to pick a fight with the drone. Who
That's
will
one
win?
weird looking bird.
Alright.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks for riding along. And with that, 19-hour of travel's done. I am in Oceanside after leaving San Jose at 11:45 p.m. last night. Yeah, this was a great day. I spent a lot of time exploring LA, something I've been wanting to do for a while, but never really had the chance. I think SoCal Transit, something that I have talked endless garbage about. It's deserved, but at the same time, I see why it's so garbage. But for me, it did the job, but that's because I based my entire day around things that were close to transit. If I was someone who relied on this service for, getting to and from work, I don't think I would be super thrilled with it. That's just referencing the buses in general. Anyway, I'm now going to go sleep for a very long time. Thank you for watching.